And this is AliciaStorm, and we are starting to play the Stanley Parable, the actual game. So I just finished playing the Stanley Parable demo, and I loved it so much that I started playing this game right away. So right now, my my video for the Stanley Parable demo is being saved to computer, and I'm going to upload it in a second. But I wanted to point out first of all that look at the corner here with the computer screen. Look, it's like an infinite. That is just like, that is crazy. You can infinitely see my monitor. I mean, well, at least the screen. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to options and get subtitles on. Alright, we'll just do subtitles only because I don't know what else it means by that. What does it mean by all captions? Oh, I guess when you look at... Okay, well, anyway. So that's that. Alright, let's get started. So I don't know how long this one is going to be because I do have class tonight, and I'm kind of cutting it pretty close by recording right now. It's 4:18 and my class is at 5:40, but I usually leave around 5:10. So
this is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, this is just like the original mod.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building
Except
where
better.
He was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Sounds awful.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Exactly how the original mod.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Huh. This is just exactly like how the mod went, except it looks much different. Okay. I'm stuck. What does that cup say? Something about, maybe it says I hate Mondays. "429, you there? 428?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
I didn't know that was an achievement.
You were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I want to see if it actually happens. I had no idea it was an actual achievement. Shut up! Somebody might be home. Oh no, although dogs would be going crazy if that were the case. Well, I interrupted him and I don't know what he was currently gonna say. Shut up! How many times have I clicked it? Am I just wasting time now? Probably. Alright, well. Anyway, narrator, you were saying? Oh yeah, it does say I hate Mondays. This one's different. What does it say? Who farted? Gross. Show me the money. Is he gonna continue talking or not? Did I just mess up? I think I messed up. 425. Does that say 4B6? Who works there? Oh, that. Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Nope. I do not. I must keep clicking. I can't pick up the cup. Random coffee cup in there. Oh, what? Did they go up there? Did they go on the roof? What time is it? Oh, okay. Spilled coffee. What is that?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Why? 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 Okay, I'm done. Left. Let's go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, that's the reason. It's a mess. Hey, that one's on. Are all the clocks, like, off or something?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It looks like it's handwritten. I have blinds like this in my house.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Can I get a drink? Maybe I'm thirsty. What was a coffee?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Is there anything else you want to throw at me? Hang on, I've got to take a sip of water anyway.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long
He knows
time
me.
had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
How did he know? I guess there probably won't be any more.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Was that really an achievement with the... What? What if we just go straight?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Well, you throw a door in front of me, I'm gonna go through it. Oh, look at that. Warning, you're gonna fall over here. Architecture. I remember, Heavy Rain. I played, that as soon as I got it, pretty much. Do not lie. If you were lying right now, stop. I like that one. I should hang that up somewhere. I got it pretty much soon after it came out, and I remember the part in it when because apparently the main character was an architect, and I was like, do I have to actually draw all these? And I mean, kind of. It took me forever to do it, though, I think, if I remember correctly. Ah. I need a friggin' ID to go in there. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. And if you do, you get a $5,000 penalty. Oh, well, I'm going to be charged $1,000 anyway because this isn't how you use a cargo lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who? What? There's another
this is it,
character?
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
What are you talking about?
She's been waiting.
Seriously, I don't know what's happening. Okay, who is she? Do we know her? This room is very dark. Okay. Oh, shit.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What the fuck just happened? What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Ah!
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Thanks.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Ooh. Holy shit, okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Is there a head coming out of that?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
I'm
Now
confused.
he's
Do you want me to
pushing a
do it or
button.
not?
Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I tried pushing another button, it didn't work.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Yep.
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
Actually,
and each
I do
day
do that.
he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Well, I do kind of do that, actually.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Huh. To spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Okay.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
What?
And he called it the Stanley Parable.
That's exactly the first mod.
It was
kids.
such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Okay,
But there is no answer. How could there possibly
Whoa.
be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
I think he should get
The
a new
longer
job.
he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Oh, that sounds... That actually happens.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I'm guessing that if I don't push it, it's just going to sit there. And I can't move because if I do, then I'm hitting a button.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
This is weird. To question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What? What? What happened? The fuck? Huh. Okay, we know these doors don't open. But now that door's not closing. Wasn't there supposed to be like a camera filming you in here? Anyway.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, I guess I'll go left this time. I noticed that the computer was on. Oh, I can turn it off. Can I turn more off? Awaiting input. What? Can I do more? Guess not. Username access. Alright, well I can do a little bit more this time, I think. I do hate Mondays. Actually, I don't mind Mondays as much as I hate Thursdays. I mean Wednesdays. Because that's when I have to be in the city for school all day.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I assume that if I go on the right, it'll do the same thing that it just did, so I'm gonna go left. My assumption could be incorrect. I don't know. You never know with the Stanley parable.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Whiteboard manager. Rip Franz. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Cabal planning? Why is there group? Meeting room, floor 4XX. Meeting schedule. Weekly targets admin. IT department. Weekly review. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thought it said 6 for a second. Marketing Mondays. Termination Tuesdays. We're broke Wednesdays. Scribble mergers. Pranking floor 5 meeting. Office efficient. Financial panic meeting. 451's private talk. I don't know what that says. Private time. Oh. Legal. Boss's inspection. Ideas plus development. What to do about 432. Don't tell 432 about the meeting. Question mark. Exclamation point. Question mark. XX. Group 40X. Group 41X. Group 42X. Group 43. Okay. Group. This is too small. This something is too small. 8 bird. 8. Remember the 8 game? Pre-review of weekend review. Office party. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound terrible. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda reflect. Employee. What is that? Is that like a little snake or something? What number were we? Jim. they're all numbers except for Jim. Good old Jim. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Okay. What? Targets. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Not cost efficient. Oh, it's standardized graphs. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Synergize papers. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of something. Ongoing.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Whoops. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Let's find Jim. Maybe Jim can help. I also want to watch the number of slides on this slide. Charts and slides. A what? There's more charts than... Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Oh, that's so boring. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Whoa, please, no more charts, please, I'm begging you. The boss appreciation minute on your boss appreciation minute. Does the boss fill out a triple? No. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict, like yourself, but more inclined toward conflict, unless you're the kind of person who... What are your dreams for the future? Charts. Yep, charts. That's it. That's the one. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no exception of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the... Everyone is unique. You, most of all. So it goes from small to big and changes the colors. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market monetize. Free to play. Top priority. Charts, graphs, blah blah. What do people want? Things, money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. Mike James, you are fired. What did he put? Happy feelings. The stock market is somewhere here. Colored in segment. Okay, stripes. Requires more secondary research. What is hot? Profits. Target demographic, teenagers. Bi-quarterly post review. We need less reviews. 402 and 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More watercolors, more water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic big net. Some sort of child trap. Work harder, hard worker. Teenagers. A lot of percent. Size of demographic. Space between the teenagers. Throw something in the ideas bin. Oh, that's a nice little drawing. 1. No more bins. Trash cans. 2. Renaming of the ideas bin. 3. Firing of me. 4. Ideas bin. Alright, let's... Okay. Is there anything on here? It's probably just all the same... Same thing as what's being showed. Whoa. Our Rosoff 02? Oh, okay, well. Alright. I think we can move on.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Wasn't there somebody trapped in the broom closet?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Alright. Well, what happens if I keep... Alright, okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's go down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
I'm dreaming!
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Hey, whoa, no.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field.
No,
and
wait.
it too appeared.
Wait.
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining
Wow,
so
this is actually
lucid?
really cool.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Ew.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
What is that?
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Yeah.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
Maybe I should have kept going
I
forward.
want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
No, you don't.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
I don't think it's going to let me continue going that way.
I am okay.
I just didn't go forward because I thought that maybe it would skip dialogue. Oh, good. I can still go forward.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office.
Wait, it's
I am
just
real.
looping.
Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. Okay, so it did just loop, so I didn't miss anything.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
This happened in the mod, too.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
It was slightly different than the mod. Is never the end, is never the end. Oh, okay, so now it says it's, wow. So time is moving? Let's see. It is time for me to get off. So, this has been the first episode of the Stanley Parable on my channel. Thank you for watching. We will start here again, when... Huh. Well, we'll start again here, hopefully, when I get back. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!